Hey everyone, welcome to a G3 boardroom review. Usually when we're done playing a game, we talk a little bit about it, but this one, since it's so brand new and we all have a lot to say, we're doing it separately. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be reviewing our playthrough of Descent. If you want to, you can see our video, which is the playthrough of Descent. I think in the video we said that it was a tutorial, but it turns out
Turned out not to be.
Pretty much not a tutorial.
It is a tutorial. It teaches how to play the game. It's not very short, which is fine. Go ahead.
I don't think it was a tutorial, though. I think that it was just the game.
Right,
It
well,
just kept going forever and ever.
But it taught you how to interact with
Calling it a tutorial is really on me. Because
See, I thought it
I'm
was
like,
gonna be-
it's going to start us off here, and that's on me.
I mean, it was a tutorial in that it showed us how to use the app and it walked us through. But when I think of a tutorial, it's like has a beginning and an end, and
Right.
then you whatever you do all your leveling up or all that stuff. But that was definitely not the case.
No. All right, so
What do you think? What did you think?
I think it's an incredible game. I don't have a lot of experience playing games with the app component, so I'm kind of really wowed by the app component. I thought the graphics in it were really good. I love the music for like a medieval type game.
Fantasy type thing.
The music reminded me a lot of Back to the Future. But
yeah, for some reason it had that.
just the orchestration of the music was a little bit reminiscent of Back to the Future. But I thought that the graphics were great. I love the 3D design of the game. And if you watch our video that where we played through, we had to eliminate a bunch. After we went through a room, we had to sort of eliminate because this is taking up a lot of space.
Yeah.
Now we got kind of a small table here, but we would have had to have been on like, a 6 foot by 6 foot table if we would have left everything, because it extended like
That way.
over onto
It would be
up on
in my
Jay's
lap.
It was
shoulders.
like, like an island and water and forest.
Right.
It just kept going.
And I really
Yeah.
thought that once we finished that little wooded area, I'm like, okay, it's going to teach us what we need to do. This little wooded area, and that'll be that. And then,
Right.
But no, we got to go in the watchtower. And the watchtower has 3 levels, and those 3 levels have, and on and on and on.
Which makes sense. It is a watchtower.
It is,
Right, but I think that it's easy to play, and I think it's really easy to learn, because we all kind of, were learning as we went along.
Yeah, we picked up on it pretty quick.
Yeah.
So I think the mechanics of the game, the attack, it's not that difficult, figuring out all the stuff you have to do.
App leads you through it.
Yeah, just one little card here that shows you everything you need to do.
Yeah,
It's all
and that's
right there.
pretty much everything you need to know right there on that little card, too.
I agree with a lot of things Jason said. I love the art theme, the graphics in the app. I think the app's done really, really well. It's simple to use while making it very interactive. The storyline actually, God bless them, I'm sorry, the storyline actually makes sense.
Yeah.
As opposed to other games where, and I'm
Where it
going
might
to
not
throw them
make
under the bus.
sense.
Gloomhaven, I didn't know what the hell's going on in the story.
No.
This one, I actually can follow the story.
Oh yeah, Gloomhaven. We kept, it's like, oh wait, did we hate that guy? Oh no, now we're working for that guy. It's like, oh.
Yep, it was clear that we were attacking this watchtower to get inside to save these prisoners, and it made perfect sense. Now, I have years experience playing D&D, and I've used miniatures, and I've used maps. I think the idea of using this 3D really, really makes you feel like it's immersive. And I'm really looking forward to, based on this last thing we did, where you could literally jump down out of the tower onto the forest. I'm really hoping that it's going to take that into more an account, where I'm up on an upper level, they're down there. Are we shooting down? Are we attacking from advantage? I really look forward to see if the game allows that. Other things I really enjoyed, I think I mentioned this in the video, I think the detail in these miniatures is pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing on these guys. It's just,
If you have the skill of painting, you would really enjoy these, because there's a lot of detail that you can include.
We have no discernible painting talent whatsoever, so these will always look like this. But the detail on this is amazing, and the piece is very light. But it doesn't feel like it's flimsy.
No.
It's very nice.
You got to be careful. Handling these things is not, this guy here, and this thing looks very
but I'll
breakable.
tell you, some of the miniatures I've had, you get these pieces of plastic, and they feel thick and they feel sturdy, and they're bent all over the place, and they don't hold up. These are beautiful, and the storage they give you for them is adequate. I mean, I don't know how many games we've ever opened. You've seen what Gloomhaven looks like. I got 2 tackle boxes to hold Gloomhaven because it doesn't all fit back in the box once you break it open. And that's not miniatures. You're talking little pieces of cardboard and standees.
Right.
So they've done a wonderful job with that. Go ahead.
Thematically, I haven't quite fully figured it out, but I can see based on the dice you roll.
They give you a book of lore, Dave.
But even without the book, I could figure it out that it seems like if you're better at attack, you tend to roll more of these square dice. And the weaker attackers have to roll dice with more sides, which leads to less opportunity for successes.
Sure.
Which is thematic, which makes sense. I like the idea that in order to use certain abilities, you have to exert yourself with using fatigue. So it doesn't allow you just to use over and over and over again. So far, I'm really, really impressed. I mean, I really felt like I was in this world as opposed to just moving a piece across a board.
Yeah. I was having fun. I was having fun playing this game. Almost like it was like a video game or, whatever, a game of basketball or something. I was having a lot of fun. The only thing that kind of tempered that a little bit was that it just kept going and going, and there was no end in sight. And I kind of wish that if they would have started out with maybe like a starter level, or it started out with a mission. Like one thing that Gloomhaven had is that you had to get from one end of the board to the other end of the board. You knew once you got to the end that was it. This one, like I said, there was literally no end in sight, and to me, I don't know. I guess I kind of like to plan ahead, and I like to know.
That makes sense.
When we're ending.
So you can, at the end, you go all out to finish something.
Because
that too.
It seemed like, here's your goal. We accomplished that goal. Okay, now here's the new goal, and then the new goal. I understand exactly what you're saying.
And that's all well and good. I don't mind that happened, but I understand exactly what you're saying. We sat down to do this. It's like, okay, we're going to get through this forest clearing, and then the next portion will be the next portion. Okay, we got to go in this thing, and the next portion will be the next portion. And then, what do you mean we need 4 keys? We got to find 4 keys? Holy cow. And so now we got to find 4 keys. Now we knew we were going to have to go in those rooms anyway. And so we did, and we get up here. And I'm thinking, okay, great. There's 2 bad guys up here. There's 2 dudes that free, and then we're all set, right? No. Now you got to drop down. Now the Blood Witch is spawning over here. And I don't know where the end of that is. Now, if it really is a 35, 40, 50, 60 hour long game where we just keep building on the same thing, that's kind of cool.
Right.
But it also makes it so I really got to use the bathroom.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and this app is saving periodically. So really, I mean, you could just end whenever you want. We could have just decided. I mean, we kept going because we thought we saw an ending.
Right.
So that's why we got as far. But we could have easily, apparently, ended anywhere we wanted to, and the app saves it. And there's some new mechanics that have introduced that we have not. Which is another reason why I don't think that this is set up as a tutorial, because there's all kinds of like crafting and recipes and things like that, which
means eventually there's got to be a break. Eventually we're going to go back to town. Eventually something like that's going to happen. I just don't know where it is, and I don't know what to expect.
But it doesn't sound like a game like even in Gloomhaven, where there was a point where you get your money, you tally your experience.
Right.
And I don't know if this game ever has that.
Yeah. Well, obviously we haven't collected any money, so we're not going to have any money. We haven't collected any experience, so we're not going to have any experience. Now, there is a mechanism by which you're going to upgrade weapons. I'm sure we'll discover what that is. But not to interrupt or derail the thing, but I'm going to share my thoughts now. So, anybody who's watched our channel...
That's all the time that we have.
Everybody who's watched our channel knows that I'm a bit of a Fantasy Flight honk. I think they put great effort, and they put out really good stuff.
I agree.
The pieces... They're amazingly detailed. I haven't seen anything that's on par with that. The board itself, it's sturdy. It's not flimsy. I can't bend these pieces with my fingers.
This has some.
It's gonna last.
Has a little bit of weight to it. That's
for
a
good long time. I mean, it's steps, and it feels like steps. It's not a
Right.
piece of paper that my piece is gonna fall through. I mean, it's quality stuff. when we were assembling this, when I put together these pillars, I had no idea what they're going to be. I'm like, they got these silly notches in them. Well, the notches are there so you can put the floors in them, and it actually holds up.
Right, that's impressive.
I mean, that is good quality stuff. And so the game, it's clearly a premium game. It's got a premium price tag, but I'm getting a premium product.
Yeah.
And it's not just a box of cardboard. Gloomhaven, for all its good things, has its faults. One of the things to me that has its faults is their cardboard standees. I hate standees. They get shredded. They're cheap. Yeah. I mean, and so that's what Gloomhaven feels like to me. The rules were easy to understand. I like that. I like the app. I understand some people don't. It's controversial. It takes me out of the board game.
Which doesn't make sense to me.
But to me, it runs in tandem, and it does it well enough that the app is doing the heavy lifting.
Well, we've talked for years about, hey, this board game would be so much more fun if it had some kind of, app or something, some component. But this was years ago, really.
Personal
before
preference, I suppose.
Right.
I'm not sure when they started doing that, but
we're collecting all this stuff, all this garbage on the side, if you will, all the knickknacks and doodads and whatever, and we don't got to keep track of any of it.
Yeah, I don't have a deck of 50 cards trying to remember what I have.
I'm not writing on a page, writing, erasing, and burning holes through things. It's all right there. I mean, think about, I'm going to pick on Gloomhaven once again, but think about what your character sheet looked like in Gloomhaven.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, my experience, it's a big eraser mess. It's a nightmare to deal with.
I don't got to deal with something out of A Beautiful Mind.
Yeah. And so since this is doing the heavy lifting there, we're focused on, I'm moving my guy around, I'm moving it on the app, we're rolling the dice here and there. It does take some of that away, but it doesn't seem to be taking any of our strategizing away. You go here, I go there, you shoot him, I shoot him. This guy's weak, let's kill him.
Right.
It's not taking any of that. All it's doing is the calculations and
it's
the
number
inventory.
crunching. Number crunching and inventory, yeah, you're absolutely right.
I don't want to do inventory. I don't want to keep track of how
yeah.
many. I got boar hide over here, and I got deer hide over here.
Don't we have muddy rags or something?
I got a pile of bones, but not the right bones. I got chicken bones. I got boar bones. I don't need to keep track of this stuff. It does it for me, and I'm okay with that. But I'm with you guys. I was expecting a short introductory level. We're going to go here, we're going to go there, we're going to be done. But we're going here, we're climbing trees, we're climbing steps, we're looking in wells. You're yelling down the well trying to get something to come out and fight. I'm going to challenge the well.
One thing that's interesting is that, when we got to the well, I had those three choices that were listed there. One was drink, one was throw a coin down, and one was issue a challenge.
Yeah.
And the issue a challenge and throw a coin were grayed out.
Right.
And so
maybe
the app must go back to the well page, and that must be anytime you come to a well, you get
random
based
choices,
on where
unless
you are.
it's based on characters as well.
It might be based on characters, or it might be based on where we were. Maybe this knew that this was just a tutorial, and that's another thing that sort of led me along in the thinking was because, they're not even opening up all the options for us.
Right, and you drank from the well and you was able to recover some of your fatigue. Maybe it was encourage you, this is what you're supposed to do at wells.
And again, you go to the tree. I can pick up the fruit, I can mess around with the brush, I can climb the tree. These are all things that would be on cards previously. Here's your card, make your choice. Here's the card with all the answers on it.
Right.
Again, it's doing all the heavy lifting for you.
It seems
It's
less
right there.
cluttered. It actually takes away, because this does take up quite a bit of
for as big as the box is on this thing, you could rob a bank with this box. But it's not, the table looks like a disaster, but it's not cluttered. I'm going to put this away in 5 minutes. It's no problem.
A lot of things like these things here that were out, we could have put them away in the box. We just moved them off to the side.
Yeah. But, for me to sum up, the pieces are high quality. The story is, seems to be well assembled. There's no voice acting in the app. That doesn't bother me. I can read it myself. There was some in the beginning, but I don't need it to be read to me. I'll read it or I won't read it. I can invest as much in the story as I want to. I don't got to skip because this guy's voice is bothering me or something like that. But like I said, the pieces are high quality. That's great. The gameplay was fun.
Yes.
Let's not forget what this is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about having a good time. Now, I always have a good time playing games with you guys because we laugh and act like fools, and that's great. But, if the game is actually fun, I want to play it more. And, that's all you can really ask for a game. I paid my entry fee. I think it's great. I want to play it more. Right now, in my mind, I don't like scoring things from 1 to 10, but in my mind, it's on the high end of that. I want to see where it goes. I want to see more of it. I know that. Unlike some games that we put away and I never want to see again. You know?
Yeah, we played that Seventh Continent,
Yeah.
and that one was also you don't know where you're going, and the map opens up as you go. But playing that one, I almost felt like, let's just put us out of our misery. You know, I was like kind of hoping to just end it. With this one I was having a lot more fun.
I was
playing
excited
this
to see
one.
what comes next, even though we
Yeah.
had to end it because there wasn't a tutorial, even though it could be. I don't know. I was excited. Okay, what's going to happen next? What's behind that door? It really felt thematic. It really
Absolutely.
to the point where, like, who's going to open this gate? Well, we got to let him open the gate. He's the strongest in case something jumps out and tries to chop our head off.
One final thing I'd like to point out between this and Gloomhaven, and I'm picking on Gloomhaven because it's a dungeon crawler, and this is a dungeon crawler. Gloomhaven has an artificial timer on it, which is you have X amount of cards. You got to get from here to there with X amount of cards. It's all about card management. It's about nothing except card management. And if you don't handle your cards properly, you don't make it to the end. It doesn't matter how many monsters you slay in between there and there. It doesn't matter how many times you get hit. If you don't manage your cards properly, and some of those scenarios where you're running at maximum speed
Right.
to get to the other end.
Yeah.
But that's where we were stopped. Anytime we lost a scenario in Gloomhaven is because we couldn't get to the end with the amount of cards we had.
Yeah, we exhausted before we got killed.
It's an arbitrary timer. This game doesn't have that. You can strategize. If we bottlenecked up on this door because we were going to bust through the door and hit everything at once.
Right.
In Gloomhaven, you're not doing that.
Yeah,
sometimes you can, but most of the time I'm running through the door because I'm running out of cards, man.
Right. You got to get done ASAP.
Now, you do have the
I didn't
fatigue
like
on
that
these.
artificial thing on top of it.
Right, you do have fatigue with these, but the fatigue comes
goes
off.
away,
It goes
you rest.
away.
Yeah,
And I
it's
really
a-
enjoyed
Balance it well.
Really quick, last thing. I mean, the ability to flip your card, and now you have different abilities, different options in your character. That was just unique.
But it's not. It was a slightly different options. It's not like it changes the whole.
Sure, but it's something
you know,
different.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Right,
I
I
like
go from
it.
I go from being able to do some serious damage to now I'm moving through the area quickly. So.
I go from healing to not.
Okay.
you
Because
go from
mine
it-
was more offensive. I've
you go
got
from
one
attack to
side
defense.
which is move quickly and hit, and the other one with applying more defense.
I'm curious to see what other characters there are too.
One more thing I'd like to point out is about the card quality. Okay, you guys know me. I don't play games without
Sleeves.
sleeves. It
Right.
drives me nuts. I think you're some kind of caveman. But feel the quality of that.
Yeah, it's
That's amazing.
that's good.
I don't
quality.
feel like I'd have to sleeve that in. I'm going to sleeve it anyway because I'm not a savage. But that's great. So really, to sum up for me, what I would say is this: it's really good. So far I really like it, and I
So
don't
do I.
regret a single penny of that purchase.
Oh yeah, I mean, talking about the build quality though, these dials here that keep track of your health. I mean, these things they're not going to move unless you move it.
Yep.
Right.
There were some games that we've played where you set it down, and it's like, wait, I thought I had 10. You set it
Yeah.
down, I'm at 8.
Yeah.
But I agree with you when it comes to. I don't like rating 1 to 10, all that.
Yeah.
But I would highly recommend this game.
Yeah.
I'm really, really impressed.
If you got the means, pick it up. It's definitely good. It's worth it. And I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to playing some more.
Yeah, so am I.
Maybe with some different people.
Oh, I probably should say this video's got spoilers. All right. Well, any final words on this game?
I look forward to playing it again.
Good quality game.
Yeah,
As soon as we
fun,
can.
fun game. Excellently put together. High quality. The graphics were really good. Everything about this game is a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to playing some more. I could see
If
us
we don't
doing
put any
that a lot.
videos out for a while, it's because we're busy playing.
We're
this,
busy
not
playing
filming.
Yes, now you know. All right. Well, thanks for watching our review. Thanks to our subscribers also. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram, and we'll see you in the next video.